Hello and welcome back to day 9 of Improve Your Kizomba in 10 days. Today I'm going to be giving you some alternate hip actions that you can use in your stepping in place and walking forward and backward. I intentionally saved this class for the last one before we learn our practice routine, even though I know this is what most people are here for, because I don't want people to be using hip actions in a way that is going to disconnect them from their partner. So when we watch Kizomba, a lot of times what we see are these really impressive hip isolations, including when I dance it myself. But we have to remember that the fundamentals are much more important than the decoration, because at its core, Kizomba is a dance about connecting to your partner. And the hip isolations and all of that is nice and it's pretty and it's fun, but we want to make sure that we're focused on the connection to our partner first, our connection to the floor, kind of really familiarizing ourselves with the basic actions and doing them well before we add the decorations on top. That being said, I am going to help you decorate today, but I just want you to keep in mind that you also need to continue to work on polishing your basics and making sure that you are doing them well, so that when we do add these decorative hip actions on, we are not negatively affecting our connection to our partner, okay? So that being said, we're gonna have a fun class today. I'm gonna teach you some different ways that you can express in your hips, like I said, in basic 1 and when we are walking forward and backwards. So as of right now, the 2 actions that we've learned so far in our basic 1 are the piston and the pendulum, okay? So now we're gonna learn how to combine those 2 actions first. This is gonna be the first one that we do, where I'm gonna go piston and pendulum, and then send my hip back on that one side. So I'm gonna go piston, pendulum, swing up. Piston, pendulum, swing up, okay? And we can do this action 2 different ways. First, we are going to try it segmented, and then we're gonna try it fluidly. So the segmented version is 1 and 2 and So as you can see, I'm splitting this into 3 parts. I have my piston, then I have pendulum, and then I'm going to straighten this leg and send the tailbone up toward the ceiling. Then I'm gonna go piston, pendulum, up. Piston, pendulum, straighten and send the tailbone up. Piston, pendulum, up. Piston, pendulum, up. Piston, pendulum, up. Now, the common mistake a lot of people make when they're trying to create this action is they do pendulum right away. When we do piston, we need to keep in mind that the hip is staying on the opposite side of where I'm transferring my weight. So I go here, my hip stays so that then it has somewhere to go here. And now from here, all I need to do is straighten this standing leg. And that alone will kind of send my tailbone up, okay? So I go piston, swing, straighten, piston, swing, straighten, piston, swing, straighten. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay? So that is the first version of that. Now, like I said, we can also do it fluidly. 1 and 2 and 3. So now you see I'm doing the same trajectory of the movement, but now I'm smoothing out the transition. So I can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Or I can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay? So those are actions that we can use in our basic 1. We can also use those actions walking forward. So I can go, I wouldn't use the segmented one, excuse me, not the segmented one, but the fluid one I can do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So again, starting with piston, swing and up. Piston, pendulum straighten. Piston, pendulum straighten. Piston, pendulum straighten. Okay? I can also use that one moving backward. Piston, pendulum straighten. Piston, pendulum straighten. So as you can see, when I move the foot, it's just the foot moving. The hip stays here, piston, and the knee stays straight. Piston, pendulum straighten. Piston. That's how I get that action. If I move the hip when I step, I cannot get that action, which is why I have been so insistent on using this piston action, because it is the base of everything that we are trying to create here. So again, going back, piston, pendulum straighten. Just the foot moves, pendulum straighten. Just the foot moves, pendulum straighten. Just the foot, pendulum straighten. Okay, so we can use that action also moving forward and back. Another one that we can use in the basic one as well as moving forward and back is a wave. Okay, so this is a undulation that is just from here down. Okay, so undulation is creating this kind of S figure with the hips, where normally I would use this in like a full spine body roll. Now I'm just going to do it with the hips. So how I do this is I tilt my tailbone up toward the ceiling and take my weight onto the front of my foot. Now, staying on the front of my foot, I'm gonna crunch and try and bring the belly button now up toward the ceiling. Now I'm gonna go onto the back of my foot and I'm gonna reverse it. So I go, my tailbone's up, I'm gonna go onto the front of my foot, I'm gonna crunch, I'm gonna go onto the back of my foot, and I'm gonna send the tailbone back. Forward, crunch, back, and lift. Forward, crunch, go onto the back of the foot and lift the tailbone. Forward, crunch, go onto the heel and lift the tailbone, okay? So we're gonna go forward, crunch, back, lift. 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 Okay, it's very subtle, but if you can get used to transferring your weight between the front and the back of your foot and do the pelvic movements that I'm telling you to do, you will get that wave action very well, okay? Just takes a little bit of practice. So when I do this action moving forward and back, because it's faster, I'll usually do it in a more segmented fashion. So instead of doing a wave, I am going to just lift and lower the tailbone, and I'm putting the emphasis on the lifting. So I'm gonna go lift, 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 lift. Same thing going back. Lift, 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 and. So that lifting is happening in the transition between steps, and that's how I still get that kind of wave-like feeling without doing a fluid wave, because it's just simply too fast to do single time with the music. So I'll go slow, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll go and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, moving back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the last movement that we're going to do before we practice all of these with music is a figure eight. So when I'm creating a figure eight in my hips, I think about the eight being created in two different directions, this way and also this way. And the figure eight is just a fancy way of doing the pendulum. So this is an action that we're going to be doing with two bent knees because we're not coming into it from the piston. We're going to start with the pendulum as our base, and then we're going to add rotation. And that's how I also get the eight. You can see it moving this way, and you can also see it moving this way, okay? So if we start with our pendulum, and then from here, when I swing to one side, I'm also gonna swing on a diagonal. So instead of just swinging straight up, I'm gonna swing to a diagonal, and then I'm going to allow the whole pelvis to rotate around like a swivel chair, yeah, around. And now I'm gonna swing on the diagonal, rotate around, swing, rotate, swing, rotate, swing, rotate, swing, rotate, swing, rotate. And as you can see, that is something we can use in our basic one. And we can also use that action when we are walking forward and back, okay? So again, if you want to use it walking, we can start just with a pendulum because this is our base, and then add rotation, rotation, rotation. Be careful when you add your rotation that your feet don't start to turn in as well. We want to keep the feet moving straight forward and just keep the rotation in the hips. Same thing moving back. So we can start with our pendulum, 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 and then you can add the rotation. The rotation in this figure eight movement is always going to start forward regardless of which direction we're moving. So even though we're moving back, my hip is going to still start going diagonally forward and then swinging around, okay? So we're gonna do all of these movements with music now. So we'll do our basic one first with the segmented hip action. So we'll go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and then we'll go into the fluid version of that. 3 and 4, and then we will move the fluid version of that moving forward and back. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and moving back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we'll come back to my basic one and do my wave, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'll come back to my basic one again with my figure eight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then moving forward, figure eight, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And we're going to try that whole routine with music.
so much for watching. It means more to me than you know. Don't forget to subscribe so we can keep this going together. And when you're ready to go deeper with me, everything is waiting for you in the description below. You can join my Patreon community for exclusive weekly content, explore the dancer method if you're ready to transform the way you move and live, or come dance with me in person on one of my Mexico retreats. There's something for everyone at every level, wherever you are in your journey, and I would love to have you. See you soon.